Hello, beautiful soul. Welcome to Jinjin's Cosmic if you didn't happen to be here. Perhaps it's time to meet your soul.
Dear Libra, at first glance this question might seem tricky, but in truth it's surprisingly simple. Libras are rarely able to hide their feelings completely. The way they act, the little gestures they make, or even the subtle changes in their tone will almost always reveal whether they like someone or not. The key is, they'll show it, but in their own charming, unmistakably Libra way. 1. First of all, Libras usually don't let themselves be treated unfairly. For example, if a Libra doesn't want to do something, then no matter how much you push, they won't budge. At most, they'll give you a half-hearted nod. Anyone who has ever dated a Libra will understand this very well. That's why, if a Libra goes out of their way to be hospitable and considerate with you, that's already a sign of acknowledgement and recognition. 2. But someone might say, every time I reach out to him, he's super enthusiastic. So why is it that when I text him after we go home, he suddenly seems cold and uninterested in chatting? The answer is simple. He doesn't have a strong impression of you. He's just being polite. Libras are known for being sociable and often very helpful. They rarely turn people down when asked for something. But politeness and genuine affection are two different things. Gentleness and courtesy are like Libra's protective mask. It doesn't mean the relationship between you has actually reached a deeper level yet. 3. You can definitely feel it when a Libra man likes you. For instance, he'll always be patient with you and rarely say no to your requests. Most importantly, he can talk endlessly when he's around you, like there are far too many topics to ever run out of. The more he talks equals the more he cares about you. 4. He'll include you in his daily plans. For example, he'll want to make plans with you, whether it's studying, gaming, hanging out, or dating. This is a clear sign that this Libra really likes you. In reality, Libras are independent people who value their personal space. This means that not every social interaction is necessary for them. It's always a matter of choice. So if he's choosing to bring you into his world, it's because he truly enjoys your presence. And here's another trait most air signs share: habits. If a Libra man constantly thinks of you first when doing something, and if being with you becomes a natural habit for him, congratulations, you've already become someone very important in his life, at least in his world. 5. One more clue. The most direct way a Libra man shows he cares is by shopping for you or preparing gifts for holidays. This also hints that Libras themselves are people who value rituals and traditions very much. 6. A Libra who truly likes you and feels comfortable with your presence will sometimes share personal matters with you. Normally, Libras don't open up about their negative emotions to others, partly because of their independence, and partly because they believe such things aren't anyone else's burden. So, if a Libra shares these things with you, it means he sees you as someone he can confide in. Don't miss this chance. This is when your relationship is truly warming up. 7. Deep down, Libra men are actually very stubborn, and once they've made a decision, no one can really change it. Libra is like a mirror. If you constantly project negative emotions onto him, he may not react right away. But later on, he'll end up arguing or pushing back against you. He might not even understand why, but it's because that negative energy has been weighing on him for a long time. So if you want to be with a Libra and melt his heart, you need to be gentle and tolerant. Someone who constantly radiates negativity will have a hard time staying with a Libra in the long run. 8. Libra men often seem warm on the outside but are actually cool and detached inside. When you live together long enough, he'll gradually let go of his protective shield, stop pretending to be perfect, and start showing a more indifferent attitude toward daily life. As his partner, this is when you'll need more patience and understanding, because this is his real self. Many things in life may seem exciting, but Libras themselves can feel a bit boring at times, which is why they often chase fun and pleasure. His attentiveness may decrease over time, but that doesn't mean his feelings for you have faded. It's just something to be mindful of in a long-term relationship with a Libra. If you want to fix this, the key is to keep growing and evolving, so he always feels fresh joy and comfort when interacting with you. 9. Libras are indecisive, but once they are sure about someone, they become extremely committed. But don't assume that just because he's committed, he'll never leave you. In reality, while Libra is an air sign, it's also a highly rational one. If you stop improving yourself, or if your bad habits pile up, he may spend a long time thinking it through, and then eventually decide to walk away. 10. Libra is easy to get along with, but hard to truly win over. The most straightforward way a Libra man shows love is by making sure you're included in his life plans. 11. And finally, the most important point. When you're with a Libra, maintaining a positive atmosphere between the two of you is crucial. It's best to solve issues quickly and avoid digging too deeply into the past. Never brood or spiral into negativity over conflicts or misunderstandings. That will only make Libra feel like there's a big problem in your relationship, even if he can't pinpoint exactly what it is. And the likely outcome, a slow death of the relationship. Cold wars are the dullest thing in the world for a Libra. If something bothers you or makes you uncomfortable, be open and honest. Don't bottle it up. If you keep silent, Libra won't ever know what you're thinking, and worse, he might even assume you're deliberately trying to mess with him. Libra is a reserved, quiet, and low-profile sign. They don't like to be the center of attention. In fact, it's this calm, discreet personality that makes people naturally drawn to them. Libras dislike showing off. They always appear composed and graceful, and they avoid competition. They prefer to do things quietly in the background, though sometimes this works against them, since it makes it harder for superiors to notice their efforts. Libras also tend to be quite passive in relationships. Usually, it's friends who take the first step to approach me. I rarely reach out first. If I truly care about someone and decide to contact them, I'll spend a long time overthinking. What should I say? How will they respond? And what if they don't reply at all? It's exhausting, so I often give up. I almost never make the first move. In fact, I've never been the one to initiate any relationship. I've always been the one pursued. James is a Libra. Honestly, you can't generalize all Libras. There are always differences, more or less. And these differences, you have to discover them slowly and deeply for yourself. Don't assume that your Libra is the same as someone else's Libra just because you read something online. James doesn't mean anything bad by this, but some of the things people say about Libras are very different from James himself. Personality is complex. It comes from family, environment, upbringing, and many other factors. Everyone is different. That's why James doesn't think you can sum someone up based only on their zodiac sign. There's nothing wrong with being indecisive. Sometimes James hesitates a lot and can't decide, but after careful thought, James always makes a choice. James isn't as indecisive as you might think. On the contrary, James is actually very stubborn, maybe even a little headstrong, but not the type who refuses to listen to reason. James still agrees when something feels right. James isn't sure if other Libras feel the same, but he admits he likes beautiful women, ha ha ha. But once James is in a relationship, even though he might still glance at a pretty girl, it's nothing serious. If his girlfriend is around, he won't even look, because he's afraid she'll feel sad. Admiring beauty is human nature, right? Who doesn't like attractive people? James thinks this is completely normal. When it comes to choosing a partner, James doesn't need someone stunning, just pleasant and easy on the eyes. If you want a super beautiful girl, you probably won't be able to handle the attention she gets, haha. More importantly, she has to be fun. Girls who are humorous and generous are very lovable, and absolutely no being overweight. Personally, James prefers slimmer girls, nothing personal, just his taste. Also, they shouldn't be too clingy. Giving each other space is important. If someone clings too much, it gets uncomfortable and makes the other person feel unappreciated. Space is healthier for both. James is a Libra who really lacks confidence, just like many other Libras. But he doesn't show it. He notices every little detail, a gesture, a word, an expression, a look. James will quietly try to interpret it. Simply put, he just tends to overthink. James is also very polite. He's polite to everyone, except with close friends. With people he knows well, he's so comfortable that he hardly bothers with formality. If someone annoys him, James won't embarrass them. He'll just quietly keep his distance. It's true that Libras can be lazy. If you scold them, they might not even bother to argue. They'll just ignore it. Libras don't like chatting online. So if a Libra actually talks to you often and about many things, that means you matter to them. Even though James is a bit lazy, he's also very driven. He likes learning new things to improve himself. He studied piano, vocal training, and played soccer since the 4th grade. He's got solid physical training and has learned a lot, though academics weren't really his strength, ha ha ha. It was tiring, honestly. Besides studying, James worked a lot every day, but he thinks it was worth it. He even took part-time jobs during summer and winter breaks. In middle school, he worked despite his family's objections. He once worked for over 2 weeks without pay, but he didn't regret it. Well, back then he didn't. Now he admits it still makes him mad, haha. At least he grew from it, so it wasn't really a loss. James has always believed that as long as it helps him grow, he'll do it. These experiences made him more mature, which has both pros and cons. He missed out on some of the carefree fun his peers had and often felt they were too childish. But since he feared loneliness, he tried to fit in. His friends always talked about games. James enjoyed them too in middle school. But in high school, he uninstalled them all. In his free time, he plays guitar and practices singing. Music helps him relax. James thinks most Libras prefer peaceful relationships, so don't try to grab their attention by being loud or flashy. And don't play games with them. They'll see right through it but won't call you out because they don't want to embarrass you. On the other hand, genuine sincerity is what really wins them over. Ha ha ha, that's everything James wanted to share. The main point is that every Libra is different in their own way. Don't generalize. Some people will be a match for you, some won't. You have to find out for yourself. Dating a Libra can actually be really wonderful. Ha ha ha. In the end, James wishes you the best of luck in finding your soulmate. Who says Libras are always fair, charming, and graceful? Well, that's true, but only when you first meet them. Stick around long enough and you'll realize, behind that sparkling smile and elegant aura is an endless vault of drama. People often say Libra is like the wind, gentle, breezy. But here's the problem. This wind sometimes feels like a cool breeze, other times like a tornado that sweeps everything away. And worst of all, it changes direction faster than an electric fan. Personality. Libra is a cardinal air sign, masculine in nature, ruled by Venus. Sounds classy, artistic, sophisticated, but the dark side. Oh boy. Superficial, shallow, obsessed with appearances, and easily dazzled by shiny things. A Libra might devote their whole life to the career of finding a sugar daddy or the easiest way to make money. Their eyes are fixed on the paint, not the wood. And if you think Libras are always rational and fair, sorry to disappoint, they sulk, they flip moods, and they change sides faster than seasonal winds. Hobbies. Libras love anything pretty, fancy, or glamorous. They can spend hours just picking a lipstick shade, a hairstyle, or the perfect photo filter to post on Instagram. They love shopping, going out, gossiping, basking in attention and compliments. But above all, what Libras love most is being loved. The more fans orbiting around them, the more convinced they are that they are truly the center of the universe. Strengths. To be fair, Libras are charming and know how to make people feel comfortable. They've got an eye for aesthetics. They can balance the vibe in a room, and they know how to create memorable, romantic moments. In a crowd, Libra is the glue that holds people together, making everyone feel seen and appreciated. Weaknesses. But Libras are terribly indecisive. Something as simple as ordering food can turn into an existential crisis. When faced with two choices, they usually want both. Sometimes that charm turns into pretentiousness, romance turns into shallowness, and balance becomes plain old fence-sitting. Friendship. In friendship, Libras make friends easily. They blend in, they are approachable. But stick around and you'll see. Many times they are just fun friends, not the type to sacrifice or take on heavy responsibility. They might have 100 acquaintances, but true soulmates? Rare because Libras hate being tied down by demanding bonds. Love. The biggest problem. Libra struggles to love just one person. In their minds, if I choose this one, what about the other? If I commit, all the other doors close forever. So they come up with a brilliant humanitarian solution: love everyone at once. Simple, right? The result: dozens fighting for their attention, while Libra just sits back, relaxed, enjoying the show without a hint of heartbreak. So that's Libra for you, charming yet dramatic, the kind of person who makes you fall in love and gives you a headache at the same time. But maybe, It's exactly those flaws that make Libras so fascinating, unpredictable, and never boring. If you've got a Libra by your side, just brace yourself to live with this little storm of adorable chaos. See you again in the next journey through the stars. This is Jin's Cosmic, where we laugh, roast, and explore the universe of every zodiac sign together.